Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a little review of the brand new Nosferatu that came out at the very end of 2024. If you guys watched my video where I talk about movies I discovered in 2024, of course the dog wants to play. If you guys watched my video where I talk about movies I discovered in 2024, I also mentioned my favorite movies I watched in 2024 that actually came out that year. And I did mention also in that video that we were seeing Nosferatu at the end of the year, so maybe that would be added to my list of favorites. And unfortunately, it wasn't added to my list of favorite movies from 2024. It was still very good. I very much enjoyed it. It just wasn't my favorite. Definitely the three I mentioned in that video, which were Inside Out 2, Twisters, and The Substance. Those were definitely still my favorite movies of 2024. But anyway, Nosferatu, let's get started. So I haven't actually seen the original Nosferatu. I also don't know too much about it besides the fact that it is basically a ripoff of Dracula. According to Sam, it's basically beat for beat of Dracula, except his name is Count Orlok, and he is not a Nosferatu. He is the Nosferatu. The most I know about Nosferatu is that he's really creepy looking. I've seen some of the clips where it's just like his like creepy shadow like lurking through the house and stuff. And I've also seen the SpongeBob episode that includes Nosferatu. So I don't really know much about the story of Nosferatu. I kind of know a little bit of the story of Dracula, not very much. But I was still intrigued to go see this movie. It looked really cool. I love Bill Skarsgård, and I'm always down for like a creature feature kind of a movie. And I will say right off the bat, I was so happy that they did not show any bits and pieces of Bill Skarsgård in any of the marketing for this movie. I think that is such a brilliant tactic to do with marketing. Like, you know, you're going into like a creature feature. Like, it is called Nosferatu. It is a remake of a vampire movie. Don't show us the vampire. We know there's going to be a vampire, so just don't show it to us and leave us in suspense. With that being said, when it comes to the portrayal of Nosferatu in this movie, I have to say the makeup was incredible. Bill Skarsgård was obviously the standout of this movie, but his mustache was a choice. A choice I agree with, not necessarily. Everything else about his character design, his voice, I know Bill Skarsgård worked with vocal coaches to learn how to deepen his voice to such a intense octave. He was incredible. The makeup that they did on him was insane. Again, that mustache, but we're not going to talk about that. But everything about his entire character was so cool, and I just thought it was so well done. There was so many really great performances in this movie. I will say this movie did lose a few points for me, only because I don't fully understand Old English. That's my fault. That's not the movie's fault. They're obviously not going to talk in like modern day English in this movie that takes place, well, it actually takes place in Germany, but they're obviously not going to be speaking regular modern day English in this movie, and that's not on the movie. That's on me for not fully understanding it. I still kind of picked it up a little bit as we went on. There's a few things about the plot that I had a few questions about that maybe if I read like the original Dracula or again understood Old English, I would maybe understand a little bit better. But either way, I still really liked this movie. For the most part, it was just like the not understanding of certain things that really kept it at a lower rating for me. But other than that, it was so good. Bill Skarsgård was absolutely incredible in this movie. Holy smokes, was he amazing. Willem Dafoe was amazing. Nicholas Hoult was amazing. The only person I really had some issues with, and it wasn't really like the biggest deal, I've definitely seen worse acting in the world, I didn't love Lily Rose Depp in this film. I haven't seen her in anything else, so I can't really compare her acting. It just wasn't the standout in the movie, in my opinion. Even if you take Bill Skarsgård out of the picture, she still wasn't like the standout. I would definitely give that to like Nicholas Hoult or Willem Dafoe. It still wasn't horrible, but I just didn't love her acting as much as the rest. But overall, I thought this was an incredible movie, so well acted by the majority of the cast. Definitely very creepy. I know there's been some debate on if this is actually like a scary movie or a horror movie. I would definitely say it's like a horror movie in the sense that it leaves you like feeling kind of tense and stuff. There is no jump scares or anything like that in this movie. It just gives you like this really creepy feeling, like specifically the scene where Nicholas Hoult goes to the castle to meet Count Orlok for the first time. It was just very creepy. There's a few gory-ish scenes, but nothing too intense or anything. I absolutely loved the choice to do pretty much all the scenes that included Nosferatu in a black and white camera, which, fun fact, they actually developed this special lens to do these scenes. To a lot of people, they're saying it's just black and white, what's the big deal? But I guess it's like this really creative lens that they made that actually takes a lot of like the oranges and yellows and makes it just like pure like blues and grays, something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's not as simple as like a black and white filter on the camera or anything like that. I really liked that all the scenes with Nosferatu were all in black and white. I thought that was like really cool, a really cool choice. One thing about this movie that I absolutely loved was the visuals that they did, like I said, with the black and white lens that they used, but just all the scenes that were basically Nosferatu's shadow were so cool. Specifically the scene where his like the shadow of his hand is like going over this town in Germany. I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. And then the second scene that was very heavily just his shadow, that was really cool. This was near the end of the movie, but this isn't like a spoiler or anything, so don't worry, I won't be spoiling anything by telling you this scene. Even though it was at the end, it's not I won't say any spoilers or anything. The scene itself was just very well done. It's basically Nosferatu going through someone's house, and he goes up to someone's room, but up until he's in the room, we only see his shadow. And I thought that was so cool, but also really reminiscent of the old Nosferatu, because literally, like I said, I know nothing about that movie except for I remember the scenes of his creepy shadow going through like houses and castles and stuff like that. So the scene itself was really cool. If I had never heard or known anything about the old Nosferatu prior to this movie, I would have thought it was just like a really cool scene and a really interesting and creepy choice to make for this movie. But I like the fact that it's like reminiscent of the old Nosferatu. It's still all those other things, but it's also just like a callback to the old movie on top of being all those things. So with all of that being said, I still have not fully decided if I'm a fan of Robert Eggers. He's made some really cool things, and he's made some really artsy-fartsy things that are just not up my alley or anything like that. But this was really cool. I liked this. I will definitely purchase it, rewatch it. I definitely enjoyed this movie. I thought it was so well done. I would love to see like behind the scenes of this movie and learn more about the production and everything. I thought it was so cool. So definitely, if you're interested in vampire creature feature type of movies, it's not your regular Twilight or anything like that. Definitely not. This vampire is not good in this movie. Definitely check it out if you're interested. And that's going to be it for me for today. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, I would love it if you would like and subscribe. I post new videos every single Friday, and I would love to have you here. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.